Hey guys, in today's video it's going to be a draw with me while I talk about how you find art directors' emails. For anyone who doesn't know, an art director is the person that you would contact if you have a finished collection, an illustration, or just like maybe a one-off pattern that you want to send to them so they can license out and use onto their own products. So this can be anything from a small boutique all the way up to something like Target, Levi's, Minted, any large company. Everyone has an art director. Sometimes the art director is also the owner. But in this video, I'm going to be giving you a bunch of tips on how to find the art director's email, how to find their name, and if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a bonus little nugget of information. Because once you find their name, if you don't know the format of the email the company uses, that name's not really going to be very useful. So if you stay to the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how I find the email format that each company uses. That way I know I can contact the art director directly without getting a fake email. So number one way that you can find an art director's email is actually going to the company's website. Certain companies will have what they kind of call a meet the team page. It's almost like an about page, but it tells you all the team members. So it'll tell you the owner, the founder, the CFO, whatever. What you're looking for is someone called an art director, someone called a creative director, something along those lines. Just look for a director of some sort that's either creative, art. Sometimes a person's literally called the art licensing director. Look for something like that. Look for that person's name. And that way you know who to contact. If for whatever reason the company doesn't have a Meet the Team page, you can also use good old-fashioned Google. Type in art director of whatever the company you're looking for is. A lot of the times art directors have done interviews. They may be on LinkedIn, which will be my next tip in a little bit. They may have been featured in something. Whatever it is, they will have art director, and Google will be able to bring that in and say, hey, this person is titled as the art director of the company you're looking for. That way you can get the name. Now the third one, like I just mentioned, was LinkedIn. Some parts of LinkedIn you will have to pay for. This particular thing that I am going to tell you, you don't necessarily have to pay for, but if you do want to pay for it, you're pretty much guaranteed to always find the art director's email. But the unpaid for version is you go to the company's website or you go to their LinkedIn. You go to the company's LinkedIn page. Every company, for the most part, has a LinkedIn page. And employees have tagged themselves with that LinkedIn page. So if they're a current employer or employee of that company, they will have what their job description is, what their title is of the company. And on that page, on the company's page, it literally is just like a running list. So you can look down the list, look for the art director, look for creative director. Sometimes you'll find like senior art director, junior art director. It's all kind of the same thing. The senior art director clearly has a higher level in the company than the junior art director, but everyone can help you out. And I have yet to meet a company that when you email, if you do email the wrong person, they'll normally email you and say, hey, this is actually the person you're looking for. I will forward this email to them. I have yet to meet a company that doesn't do that or help you out. They understand. We're all artists. We're trying to get our work out there. They appreciate the effort of you putting out your artwork. That way they have artwork to put on their products. Without you, they wouldn't have any artwork to put on their products, and they would all just be like plain looking products, and no one wants to buy that. So they appreciate the effort you're putting in, and 99% of the time they will put in the effort to help you out as well. Now, I want to pause between these two tips and just say that if you are interested in what I'm drawing, you're wondering what I'm drawing or where to get it, I am doing for the entire month of October a new print published in my Etsy shop every single day of October. So this is one from the very first week. It is going to be 31 new prints, and then in November I'm doing a bunch of flash sales, just to be able to say thank you, because I know the Christmas season is coming. It's a very expensive season, so I'm doing quite a few flash sales. And if you want to stay in the know and you want to be a part of that, by all means, you can follow me on Etsy. You can follow me on Instagram. Instagram is where you will get the most up-to-date information, probably most of the time first. So if you are interested in either of those, my Etsy shop and my Instagram will be linked below. But let's jump into the next tip. The next tip is going real old school for some people, and that's just calling. If the company is large enough, they will normally have a phone number. You can always look on their Facebook page as well as looking at their website. You can just call. Sometimes it's a front desk person, sometimes it is a customer service person. But either way, you can just say, hey, my name is Betty Sue. I am an artist, I'm an illustrator, I am looking for, insert the art director's name, or I'm just looking for the art director to be able to submit my artwork. Is there any submission guidelines? And 99% of the time, they're going to be like, oh yes, of course, Betty Sue. Their name is whatever. Here's their email. And that's it. And then you have the email, you're good to go. You can send out your collection. You can send them an email asking if they have art submission guidelines, whatever you need. You just have to actually call, which I know for some people is a bit scary, but you can do it, I promise. Now, my next tip is actually going to the company's Facebook page. I've noticed that with the email they put for their Facebook business page versus the email they use for like their website, a lot of companies, especially like smaller boutique companies, it tends to be different emails. So on a website, I'm sure you've seen, it's normally like hello at company's name, or maybe it's contact at company's name. And it's more of just their generic catch-all email that's more for their customers and not so much for submitting artwork. Their Facebook business page, however, I've noticed a lot of companies have an actual email, like a person's name at the company's name, so like Mindy at Levi's.com. And being able to get an email, even though that might not be the art director, getting an email of an actual person instead of just their catch-all email is way, way better, and you have way more likely to be able to get a contact, them contact you back, and you get next steps into how you would be able to contact the art director, art submissions, then it would be just contacting their like hello or contact at email. Because like I said, that's more for their customers, not so much you as an artist, as a person who wants to collaborate with them. So look at their Facebook page. There's a really good shot that their email they have linked to their Facebook page will be different than their website page, and it will be an actual person that works there's email and not just their generic email. And now it is time for my little bonus tip, my little nugget of wisdom, if you will. And it is that if you can get the art director's name, that's all well and good. But if you don't know the format of the company and how they format their emails, so something like first initial last name at the company's name, or first and last name at the company's email. If you don't know that format, their name is not very useful to you. So my bonus little tip is once you have their name, if you can't find their email anywhere, or you can't even find how they set up their email as a company, you can go, there are multiple websites. I use Rocket Reach. You can really just Google like company's name, email format, or email setup, and multiple of those websites will come up. But I use rocketreach.co. This is not sponsored at all. But actual employees have voted on these websites and said like, yes, that's the email that we use, or no, that's not the email that we use. And you can get actual percentages of what email that company uses, so that way you already know the art director's name, and now you have the format that the company uses for their emails. So if you have Jane Smith as the art director and you know that it's first initial last name, that means it's going to be jsmith@levis.com. We're just going to keep going with my Levi's reference. But that is my little nugget of wisdom that I've figured out through sending art directors emails. Look at those. If you are looking at Rocket Reach or any of the other websites and the percentages are very close for two different types of emails, you can always send the same thing to both of those emails. It's only going to reach the person if it's their right email. I know with Gmail, if you send an email that doesn't work, it's going to send you an email right back that says, like, this is not a real email address. So then you know right there, one of your emails will work and the other one won't. You're not going to be like that weird person that sends multiple emails and they get both of them. Like, that's just not going to happen. One of the format will work and the other one will not. So don't be afraid if you see an email that has the same or very close to the same percentage of, like, yes, we use that email. Just use both of them. That's totally fine. They're not going to get both of them. They're going to get the one that works. And then from there, you can build relationships with the art directors. And even if they say no right now, that doesn't mean they're going to say no forever. You can always reach back. They like hearing from you. They like seeing new artwork from everyone. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, as always, you can leave them in the comments. If you found any value from this video, please like. It greatly helps the channel. It helps support me, and it gets these videos out to more people like you who are interested in this topic. And I will see you next week.